Allah can never be acquired but through obedience to Him. And for so long, I wanted to achieve this goal. I wanted to make money online. I wanted to get married, this and that. And I would chase all of these goals, all of these ambitions I had, almost purposely. It felt like I was on this path where I was climbing this mountain, but it was pitch black. It was just completely dark. And inside, I felt the same. I felt empty. I was being a jahil, chasing these goals, not making any dua, not even thinking about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, not even thinking about my deen. And obviously I never achieved the things I wanted to achieve in the first place. And eventually Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He tested me. And I remember like feeling this like pain and everything, right? It was like a period of testing. And I remember going into sujood one prayer. It was like Asr prayer, and I'm going to be honest with you, at that time I didn't used to pray, right? Like I told you, I was not on deen, I was a bit of a jahil, and I didn't used to pray. But because of this like time period, this pain I was going through, I went down into sujood and I prayed. And honestly, I remember asking Allah, making dua for, after a little bit, right? I was making dua for Allah to ease my pain. I was in sujood making dua, Ya Allah, please ease my pain. And I'm going to be very honest with you, instantly my dua got accepted. Instantly, like this pain I was feeling from this like trial, from this like bad period, right? Instantly it went away. And I was feeling so much better. And I felt so grateful for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He's let this thing happen in my life. That it is kind of a bad thing, it is a negative thing, but there has to be good from it, right? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the best of planners. And I just have to trust Him. And that in itself brought me so much closer to Him. But it also made me realize that Allah wants me to make dua. And He tells us in the Quran, call upon me and I will respond to you. And of course, like the disbelievers, all those who are like too arrogant, they're ignorant and they don't make dua, there's hell for them. So for us, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He wants us Muslims to make dua. And I realized this. And dua is a form of worship, and it's something that's personally brought me a lot closer to Allah. It's gotten me a lot closer on my deen and on the right path. And as you can imagine, it is a great feeling when your dua is accepted and you see the signs in your life, right? Because Allah is the Al-Mujib, the responder. He's going to respond to your duas when you sit down there, when you're talking to Him, when you put your hands up. Allah loves to see that, and you will feel it inside of you as well when you are making duas, that you will feel yourself get closer and closer to Him. And it is so important, it is so vital when you are making that dua that you have a good image of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You are not sitting there, you're not making dua thinking, oh yeah, Allah's not gonna accept it, Allah's not, I never get my duas accepted. No, you need to sit there and have such like belief that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you're sitting there making dua for more rizq. You have to understand Allah is the enricher, right? He's the one who makes people rich. He's the one who's created everything. He is the Razak, the all provider. And we know this. When you have that positive mindset, Allah said, I am what my slave thinks of me. So don't be like, Allah might not accept my dua. Allah, have this belief, Allah will accept my dua, or He'll do something better for me. Have this belief that He, inshallah, will take care of you. Trust in His plans. And inshallah, that in itself will power up your dua. It will level up your dua, and it will also level up your connection with your Creator. It will level up how you feel on the right path, on your deen, and how easy it is for you to stay away from the sins, how easy it is for you to stay on the right path, keep growing, keep excelling on that path. And by doing so, by being continuously on the right path, I have found out that whenever I am like on deen, right, whenever I'm like locked in on my deen, in those time periods, my duas get answered. Those are the time periods where almost all of my duas do end up getting answered by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And He told us, like, be righteous, be on your deen, and I will take care of you, I will provide you from my bounty, right? And if we know this from the Quran, Allah said that He will reward those who do good and they're righteous and stuff, and He will reward them from His own bounty, from His own gifts and rewards, right? In His own way. So it is so important for you and for me to be locked in with our prayers. We're praying on time. We're praying with this great level of concentration. We are doing istighfar. We're doing zikr, everything, right? All of these things will build your deen up. They will build your connection up. Think about it. If you went for a job interview, right? What are the chances of you getting a job if you just like were swearing at your like manager or the guy that was doing the interview, right? There's a very low chance that you get the job, right? It's the same. If you are disrespecting Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, if you're not obeying His commands, you are not like, you're sinning, you're doing all of those things, what are the chances that your du'as get accepted? I'm not saying, oh no, definitely if you do one sin, your du'a won't get accepted. No, not at all. Like every son of Adam is a sinner, but the best of sinners are those who repent. You're gonna sin anyways. But the best thing is, you need to understand, like, try your best every single day to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to be on deen, to be praying, to be doing this, to be doing that. And that in itself will help you so much, inshallah. It will help you, obviously not in your akhirah, but also when you are making du'as, it will help you getting those du'as answered by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because you have gone out of your way in your day, you have maybe given charity, you've done this, you've done that, to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and inshallah He will reward you for it. One thing I want to talk about is, because this used to happen to me when I was sitting down and I was making du'as, I would almost like just say them just from my mouth, but not actually be present in the moment. My mind would wander to this thing, oh, let me think about this in business, let me do this, let me do that. But I was still making dua. I was like, yeah, Allah, please bring me 4 wives. But I was thinking about something completely different, right? You might probably do that as well, right? It's like the short like attention spans from TikTok and everything. You are not going to be present where you are. So it's very, very important that you do concentrate on your dua. You do concentrate, even of course in your prayers, but specifically when you are making dua, concentrate on the fact that you are literally asking the Creator, the King of all kings, and He will inshallah respond to you. He is the Al-Mujib. He will respond to you. So have that like in your mind, that He is listening to you. There's 7 billion people on this earth. Who knows how many jinns there are? Who knows all these other things? And He's listening to you. So make sure that you are also present with Him. You're also concentrating. And one of the things that has helped me, even like with my prayers and stuff like that, is taking a deep breath in. Like really, take it right now. To really slow everything down, because this dunya is like fast paced, right? Everything's going by so quick, this, that, you're on your phone, this is going on, your notifications, everything. Take a deep breath, slow everything down, and really lock in with that connection with Allah, and you automatically feel a lot better, inshallah. The last thing I want to get into is, I specifically remember when I was a kid, when I was younger, right, 16, 17, maybe even younger, there would be exams coming up. And you know, with the exams period, you don't want to get like beat by your parents. Not that ever happened, guys. But you want to do good, right? You want to get good grades. So you would always like make sure you're making dua, right? I remember like there were times in like the exam hall before the exams coming, I haven't done much studying. I haven't done any studying. I know I'm cooked, but I'm still making dua. Like Allah pulls off some miracle, even when I haven't done any work, even when I haven't put in the actions. And that's where I want to finish off. And Allah tells us this in the Quran: the condition of the people won't change until they change within themselves, until they change themselves, right? So it's so important that you do put in the work, you do the actions, you're consistent, you're disciplined, all of these great things, that you make sure that you get the work done. Inshallah, that will help a lot. That will help a lot in like Allah accepting, because there has to be some form of effort from you. There has to be some form of excess, like sacrifice from you, inshallah. So make sure that you do. So make sure that you are doing everything you can from your end. You're putting in all the work. You're putting in all the efforts, and then you are also like pleasing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You're on deen. You're having that like level of connection. You're actually making dua in the first place. All of these things will come together, inshallah. And inshallah, through the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He will accept all of your du'as or do something even better for you, inshallah. I hope this video was valuable for you. Go watch the video on your screen. I want to thank you for your time. Goodbye.